things have turned around since the end of yesterday, where I wasn't too sure about this build. Now I'm like, yeah, I can deal with it.
Now, speaking of
Okay, get the locket.
keep your wits about you.
Farewell.
Just
Thanks
in time, says Alba.
Bye.
Nice.
You are well.
You want to buy some crap, please? Bubbling? Is that instant? No, bubbling. Oh yeah, it is instant. Reduced amount, instant, with increased recovery, immune to curses. What do I have as seething? Probably curse removal is good though. I've got bleed, curse, and shock. Okay, that's. It's life. Before life. No.
Be well.
Yeah, these are definitely cool. So the ones you want are the ones with the extra sockets, maybe? I don't even know, like, because you got to put points into them. It's not like they're bonus points. That's tough. Craft those.
I greet you.
Greet you too. Okay, so definitely want to. I think I want to push around to that spell dash, definitely. Okay, so we're gonna get the locket. I'm gonna cross swords way point down. Okay.
All these rotten rattlers were brought down by your hand. Will they return the favor?
Like in there. Following me up. Oh, I'm out of fog. Essence fog, good fog. Yeah, I like essence. Let's see if we can find out where that thing went. Oh, I'll be in here. lock it. There it is. Quicksilver flame dash into thing is fun. Oh, do we do temple? I wonder if I can do temples. I might do temples.
It was madness that strangled this place. You can feel it, can't you?
The panic flask. Try and south. I seem to call it the tiniest amount of it. Come on.
Quickly.
No rewards. Fell Shrine, Crypt Trial 8. Oh, did I miss a trial? No, I didn't miss a trial. I haven't bothered grabbing that one. I've got a bit more of picking up. Ranking up extra gems. I always wait too late to do that. And I do it at the wrong time. Entrance is here, right? Yeah, nice. Do trial, get map.
Place better to hide your heresy than right beneath the bishop's nose.
that through fog. I'm gonna head that way. I don't want to focus on. What's the path of building? I think we do. Well, I definitely want to get around to that though. Okay. What's that option? Challenge Dominion. I kind of need to do that. Let's. Might do that first and then come back that way. This will be good later. I just. Yeah. Where am I headed? Here. At least we get that back, I guess. If you're only going to take those two, that's weird in the guide. You take that one, and one of those if you want an extra one. This one. And we head down. Oh, what's that for? A life node. Probably a good one to have as well. Oh, Doomcast. Before I said lever, not switch. I wonder if I need to It's not.
Shine boldly so that all may find you when the night falls.
Okay, so I need the map, and then we leave. We need to take this, huh?
This is neither the time nor the place.
Oh. So, jade, granite. So,
Here our ways divide.
good, let's go.
The spirit hunts with you.
Buy my stuff, please. I want to hold on to that, just so I know I want to put it in at some point.
Go with the spirit.
Perpetual. I should use that instead of. I don't know, I want the bleed. Is it a shock? Oh. Actually, that one's better there. Let's see how I go. I'll keep that on my inventory then. If we're doing poorly, we can. Back in. I already had a basalt now. Alright, next is. Oh, I'm in Malagaris. Crossroad to Sins, that's north, right? That's like, they're going to be down this way, it's going to be up around that corner, which would have been frustrating. Alright, Mirror. Yes, sir.
Skill, bound by logic, built this grim sanctuary. Madness tore it down.
Okay. Nice. Need to bring in my prophecy. Still.
Hello to you, great dreamer.
Hey Silk, how's it going, buddy?
such magnificent talent, and you wish to ruin it.
I don't know if I want to do it. Shadow Malagara. I guess we will. It's not about what you want to do, Panz.
To damnation with you!
Somewhere in the middle, or it was up here. That sort of goes south on this little bridge. No. Here somewhere maybe. Oh, maybe we could have fought him. This was the second bridge. Maybe we didn't need to take that. Just needed to go up this way. That's the start of the zone. That was the first bridge. Thanks, don't run around while you're bleeding. I'm gonna see my marbles. Wait. This is gonna be a dead end up here, right? Alright. Yeah. Welcome to Pan clears the zone unnecessarily. I'm back. There's a tiny little... yeah, okay. Oh well, you outdid yourself. die. You need to save yourself, Sin.
Brutal construction nears completion.
That's what I thought. Huh. Okay. Mostly the fog rewards. That's alright. Totally okay with that. I'm gonna do a trial. Let's go against this. What we're doing? Yeah. Trial, secret passage. Oh, that's right, secret passage.
Deeper still, exile. Deeper still.
I really want to do the trial with the fog. Currency, let's just take some stuff then. That's nice. I didn't see it. Yeah, I'm running with it. Bad, Panz. That was really bad. So I think I have to hit the time buttons again and go that way. Wait. Yeah. That, go around there. I guess. just lets you back out again. Okay, never mind.
There is a fine line between consideration and hesitation. The former is wisdom, the latter is fear.
Yeah, that's fine. You have to go around the bottom here too. Yeah. It's that same sort of layout to where Fidelitas was. Did you kill anything, do we? It's funny how this isn't here in the, well, you can't access this the first time you did in the first half of the axe. Mind if I do?
The walls are closing in.
I am no beast of burden.
And yeah, Doja dropped it in Act 4. They have pretty cool, one of those new jewels as well. What am I doing? Fortress. Where's Groost? Not towards the Bruce just off the wrong way. How's your leg going, dude? You got a 60 lucky 6 wings? Ah, corrupted one from a Val side area. Ah, from a delve chest, okay. That's cool that you got the colours you wanted. You were able to craft the colours you wanted onto it. With the because you got to craft them with a Val orb, don't you? Is it still random colour changes? Or do you choose? Oh, is it the one where you get to choose 4 chrome and 4 Val? Nice.
Cash. Turn away the
Oh, I
tyrant's
see.
face,
Yeah, I
and
got
kingdom
that.
end without a trace.
I am no beast of burden.
Yeah, but I want you to pick up the thing. Stop being a jerk about it. Pick up the thing. What am I not going to want? Those. Do what you're told, beast. Alright. On the forest. So we're going to do labs now.
I be missing me, Gran.
Oh.
Fare you well.
What you tell me of Sil?
Okay, let's... Nope. Cannot evade enemy attacks. No. 59 life. 58 life. Got fire resist. Oh, that means I could get another resistance on that. Lose a bit of energy shield though. Oh, it's not that much, don't for that. Oh, unless I want that one. So where are you at the moment, Crit, in the game?
Be kind, if you can.
sell that.
You are well. Stay true to you.
Let me tell your future. A grand...
Oh, Helena's got a reward.
What would you like to know? Fare you well.
Till next time, shall we keep,
Oh,
Savior?
this is probably getting even better. Do I care? We just want energy shield.
Yes, I thank you. Though I loved him, I know Groost was lost to me the very
Hasn't
moment he
been cold.
touched that vile abomination.
No life though.
I will weep
It's a
over his
decent
passing
amount of
for
energy
many
shield,
more
though.
nights to come. But I am happy that you avenged his honor and freed him from his torment. There's an Asmeri
Yeah, that's worth
shrine
100
tucked away in the
difference.
northern forest. Groost took me there, told me it was a memorial to
Oh,
those
that's
who
worth
had
way
gone
more.
before him, a place where their spirits could rest. When he passed, he wanted his remains to be laid to rest with the
I
bones
could
of
put
his
life
people.
on it anyway.
His body, I find it difficult to
I'm
even
not gonna
think
do that.
about
Good
it. Farewell.
And cold is right up. I need to get lightning. Okay. Let's quickly. Quickly do some things. Sell those. Sick of those. Lightning. Fire? Fire. That's good. Oh, nice. Overcapped on fire, overcapped on cold, including the next Katava kill, and 69 on lightning. That's good. Alright. Oh, I think that's what happened last time. That's why it's like that. Okay, now I know why that happened. What's next? Oh, do labs? Ooh. Yeah, okay. Like me some trials.
Justice will prevail. The weary traveler
Alright,
draws
Azara.
close to the end of the path. When one defiles the effigy, one defiles the Emperor.
Thought I would have been able to get 2. Should have held off. Just have to kill the mirrors then. Well, maybe we've got enough damage where we just kill him. I really would like that if it was good, like that was really good final fight. We should get that. It would be hard pressed not to. Good.
A grand treasure fractures like a dropped mirror, yet somehow goes unharmed.
Do the recipe. I'll have to look it up. I can't remember what it is. Is it just? It's not just hand in 2 things that are the same, are they? Lock chest needs a key, don't say it needs a key. Oh, good. So we have to go this way. I avoided this way because I saw the traps and the switches and things. I'm like, no. I don't want to voluntarily have to do extra stuff like that. That's not. Now it's on. The lever was right there. Yeah, I love it. I guess it's the people that came in through a different doorway. Like this one. Oh, it's the trial. That's good. Lucky.
When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes without hesitation. To entertain doubt is to dance with death.
Ah, okay. Look at that. It's funny how... Oh, they're all mirrored. Oh, that's the only reason so one's not. Double resistance is rank 2 is nice. Let's just put that there for now. we save that for the final one?
Emperor is only as efficient as those he commands. Withstand the siege. By the goddess, what ambition!
Oh, I thought he was dead already. I didn't realize he was still bouncing around.
One of your lessons was completely ascendant.
Especially when he said, we're ambitious. Oh, it's an instant ammo. Uh-oh.
Justice is served.
What do I have on me? Something. I could see it going down in a flask. Poop. Poopity poop 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 poop. I think we can definitely do that though.
Justice will prevail.
Good knowing the pathways that should be quick.
The weary traveler draws close to the end of the path. When one defiles the effigy, one defiles the Emperor. Enjoy the reprisal. Inexhaustible. Those who stand should never outnumber those who kneel.
I think that was his hint. That was the don't hit the traps. Spikes don't seem to do anywhere near the amount of damage that the other traps do. Not complaining. Just a notice.
When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes without hesitation. To entertain doubt is to dance with death. An emperor is only as efficient as those he commands. Show me your resolve. You are inexhaustible.
Dude died. I didn't touch him. And the totems are the wrong way away. Okay. Don't get spiked, Panz. Hey Roche, it's going alright, man. It's going alright. How you doing, man? How'd you go on with Subnautica? Such a cool game. It does scary very well when it wants to. And it's just got a, like, I think it's got a really solid crafting system in it. I haven't played the second one yet. I played the first one just after it officially released. Yeah, I think they're doing a rewrite on the second one though for some parts of it though. I've heard of something about that, but I haven't really looked into it. I mean, I think it's good that games like that go into early access, but it's kind of weird. Like I want to play them, but I don't usually like playing through games like that more than once. So I kind of want to wait till it's finished. Whereas there's definitely games that, like strategy games and the like that I play, you know, Path of Exile, that I play, you know, heaps. I'd be happy jumping to one of those on early access. Make it. Nice. You caved and started it. There's nothing wrong with that though. Not really going that way. It's a little bit polished and finished. Nice. Yeah, I was watching for a fair bit yesterday. And I was bringing back some good memories. Same as whenever I pick something up and it says acquired, I instantly go to how does he put it? New something acquired.
An aspirant can afford to be promising. An emperor must keep those
Panz,
promises.
don't die. Don't die.
Our throne is the most devious trap of them all.
Traps. Almost traps.
Death and loyalty. You are free.
Got it. Ooh, 3%. New blue, yeah, new blueprint acquired. Gloves or boots? The boots are okay. What are the gloves? Gloves are pretty okay as well. Boots would probably get better. We can get better boots. Trigger Edict of Inferno on kill. Sure. Oh, I don't know what I'm taking. What's my build say? Build says we continue up that way. Alright. Easy peasy. Skills that would summon a totem, summon 2 totems instead. Wait, don't I already do that? I was kind of hoping that would bump up to 3 then. What happens when I take this out? If I can only have 3 totems if I do that. Yeah, I like the idea of having 5 totems, probably better. Cool. Oh, I still didn't get that point. Oh well. Alrighty, what do I got to sell? Some rubbish? Buy my rubbish, please. How's your studies going, man? Do the fast thing? Do the fast thing. Oh, you didn't think you'd like the first Subnautica? Oh, I could have told you you would have liked the first Subnautica. Midterms and projects at the same time? Yeah, that sucks, hey. Happens though.
The spirit hunts with you.
So, but I definitely know what you mean. Like that, it's got that feel when you.
Stay true to you.
If you look, even some of the trailers, but definitely if you're just watching like the pictures on Steam and the little video footage they have, it's like, eh. Where are we going now? Labs Northern Forest. Dread Thicket Causeway. Yeah, the vids don't do it any justice at all. It's really strange. Like, and there was a lot more they probably could have done to try and fix that. Great. I think the only reason I ended up getting it was because I was playing something else. I think I was actually playing Factorio. And someone was saying, oh, if you like the craft... Oh, I might have been doing This War of Mine as well. And saying how I like the crafting simulator, like the games with that sort of crafting depth. Factorio, it would have been probably both even. And someone suggested it, and I looked it up, and I just sort of went, nah, I don't quite think this is for me. And then I was watching someone else play it. No, this is long before Satisfactory. I think Subnautica was still in early access as well. Like the original one was in early access. And that's when I'm like, nah, I looked at it and I thought it's not for me. And it wasn't until I saw someone else playing it after it released. I'm like, okay, actually.
School got a lot less fun after, all her children died. Not my fault.
I might be able to get into this. There's another last customer. I'm glad I did. I wouldn't mind having another crack at Satisfactory. Just to see what they've changed. I haven't played that for ages. Wow, these guys are tough. They're ouching me. So my issue with it is that when I played it the first time, it was really just build the thing, build the next thing, and there was like no reason to other than to enjoy playing it, which is fine. But for me, it's only fine until I'm like, okay, I'm bored now. I want an actual game, not a toy or a thing. One of the things that those masterclass ads you see on YouTube where they get like different professional whatever people to like teach a video tutorial lesson thing. The one I've been getting a lot lately is Will Wright, the creator of The Sims. 2, 3, 7 Fireflies, I think. And one of the things he says in the ad for it is something about how The Sims isn't a game, it's a toy, and the players play with that, and sometimes they make games out of it. And you know, and I've always had that sort of opinion of, you know, games like that with no actual direction. I'm like, they're still really entertaining. Some people get, you know, hundreds of hours out of entertainment from it. Do I need to go on the den printing? Oh, good thought. Yeah, okay. And I've always tried to work out, like, I was trying to call them something else, like interactive entertainment. But I think toy probably suits it, you know, even better. So yeah, kind of that's kind of what happened with Satisfactory for me. I got, I don't remember how far I got into it. I got the Space Needle up, I know that, and then I think I started just mucking around.
Goodbye. My help is yours.
Oh, do I have to take these with me? What's this one that I just got?
Be well.
Hey Dolce, PoE's going well. Yeah, it's still a lot of fun. So Subnautica, yeah, that's the thing, like... It makes me wonder, like, it did definitely had a feel that, like, there was an attempt to make it have extra replay, but I don't know, like, games need more, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just be like, oh, we're going to put some of these things in and that'll give the game high replay. It's like, no, it doesn't. Are you playing PoE, Dolce? Definitely a lot of fun though, yeah.
Can you feel it? Despair, thick as cloth.
Right this way. You've been watching streams all day. Just living the life. Yep. He only got up a tad before 3. Well, you know. Sometimes it happens, yeah? And sometimes more than sometimes. I want to go this way, because that's where but yeah, I'm going that way. For some reason I was thinking maybe it's down here, but I don't think it is. Hey, no. Yeah, it's going well. I stopped the story yesterday when I finished the stream, and I just did a little bit of farming. I just let the gear get a little bit too slack, and then when I kicked off the story today, it was just straight. Still having a little bit of a rough time trying to work out exactly how to play this build, but it's getting there. Okay, so I want the star. I also want to do the Alva missions. I'm almost done with this act. Oh, not so much that. I do like the mechanics of it. I don't think there's, apart from some visual issues, I think it's fine so far what I've seen of it. I haven't seen any of the endgame stuff, but no, just getting used to playing this build. I mean, this is what happens. You go through the portal.
Require a touch of insanity.
The wind blows the fog a certain direction, so you go in that direction. We'll come back to Alva, and if you can, you stay in the fog. And the enemies are tougher, so you need to be aware of that. But you should know, you know that because they told us that they were tougher. But they give really high level rewards. So you can't expect to get high level rewards from, well, high compared to the level you're at.
Just in time.
So we might, because of this zone, we're not going to be able to stay in the fog as often as we want. And look, we can build up multiple levels of rewards. Well, not multiple levels, multiple amounts. Fog's kind of... I think the risk reward is good. I think the risk reward's fine. I mean, if you didn't have a higher risk for higher reward, and you just have the same risk as the zone you're currently in, then what's the point? You just stay in the zone. You know what I mean? Like, and the enemies replace... The bulk of the enemies replace the enemies that were in the zone. I think that even spawns a few extra enemies. So you get a slightly more concentrated density. Does that make sense? I use too many. I use too many of the same words. Yeah, Reddit will just be complainers because no one's going to run to Reddit and be like, "Oh, this mechanic's great."
Blaze a trail to the legendary temple of Arzoatl. A spell.
Right, this is Cloister, so we don't have to worry about opening any doors. More importantly, I don't want to.
I've got some in me, you see. This spell will take you into days past. Once there, keep the portal open by slitting a few deserving throats. The longer you stay, the more I learn about the location of the present-day temple. Once we find it, we'll have all the time in the world to collect its many treasures.
Yeah, I think especially in terms of something like Path of Exile League mechanic, the majority of people, especially on like day 2 or 3, are going to just be complaining because
changing things in this day and age.
Some people have a genuine. There are some people that have a genuine complaint. But a lot of people that complain that it's too difficult, they're just bad players. You know, I've died a few times in there, but I look at it and go, I made the mistake there. I pushed too hard. I didn't sort of gauge. I hadn't gauged how tough it was yet. The same as when you died to metamorphs, because they could be really tough. You know. And I think where a lot of people get... I'm sort of used to that sort of complaint, though, because I play a lot of strategy games. And so you get people that don't know the strategy or refuse to learn, because why should I learn to play a game, will complain that there's too much RNG or it's just too hard. And you sort of got to... You know, they get written off by a lot of people who'll be like, it's not. They'll say you've just got to learn, or... Yeah, I mean, all that's kind of silly, right? Like, it doesn't interact with other League mechanics because of the timer. Well, it doesn't interact with any of the League mechanics, but the timer is the same as the very similar to the timer in the There's a timer in the temple I'm about to go in. There was a timer in Synthesis because the map would slowly deplete. There's a timer in it's not an action. I don't. You think you can see the timer? Yeah, there's a timer in Timeless. So people saying that, just I don't know about that one. Move speed buff, get over it. Like, just like. So, and that's the thing. Like, they could remove the move speed buff, but just decrease the concentration of enemies, and the result would be the same. You'd only reach the same amount of enemies per time. You know. If you stop to do a breach inside a Delirium, the Delirium ends before the breach is over. Yeah, so make a choice. Either don't do the breach in the Delirium, or if you're doing the breach in the Delirium, run the direction of the fog, killing stuff that way. You know, I think, and that's the thing, like, that part of it has a little bit of strategy or playstyle. Like, people like that are whinging like stuff like that, they're people that just want every single part of every single thing given to them all the time. It's like, sometimes you've got to make a choice. Do I go left or right? Knowing that you're only going to get the stuff from going left, and the things on the right are gone forever. But someone will complain and be like, I want them both. It's like, well, tough. You know, sometimes you don't get both.
It's time.
You know what I mean? I like reading that sort of stuff because it makes me laugh a little bit, but I also get a bit frustrated at the same time because oh, this is nice. I think because from the parent point side of me, it reminds me of like raising children. They aren't encouraged to stack mechanics, like was mentioned. I think the other thing too, just be better players. Like, maybe the stacking of mechanics, you know, you don't get the full effect of it unless you're really good. Like, you've got a really strong build and you're a really strong player. Like, I know I'm not going to get the most value out of combining those mechanics because, well, at the moment I'm not playing the strongest build. I'm playing a decently strong build. It's doing well for me, but it's not very quick through things. Like, it will kill stuff quickly, but it'll kill, like, eventually it kills it quickly. It just takes a while to ramp up. Backtracking's for mechanics. Yeah, but then say don't backtrack for mechanics. And not many of the previous mechanics have sort of added up together. You know, it's only really been like the breach ones kind of do, and the abyss ones possibly could. But look at like Alva. Hers is completely non-interactive with anything else. We want to open cellar. Like the incursions. The incursions don't interact with anything at all. I don't even think you can get a even if I was in the fog or whatever it is.
Let's go.
I actually wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way this is interacting with anything else. Delve doesn't interact with anything else. Einhar kind of does. Sometimes Einhar can be there to help you. We want to open this door if possible. You know, I've had Einhar run with me in the fog, which was fun. But, like, oh, there we go. I'm not going to get there.
Good job.
Too slow, Panz. But I think that's it. Like, if you're in the fog and the breach, and there's a hand for the breach, right? You click that. Just kill stuff that's around you and keep going in the direction of the fog. You don't have to kill all the stuff at the back end of it.
Ah, giving that
I really wanted to open that door. Yeah, Bestiary's got that type of thing where there's no backtracking, there's no anything. But, I mean... I actually think it would be worse if something like the Abyss, like if there was an Abyss here, right? If it led me in the exact direction I needed to go every time, I wouldn't like that. You know, sometimes it takes you in a direction where you're going and there's more enemies. Sometimes it takes you back through areas you've already cleared and there's less enemies. You know, same thing with the hand. Sometimes you walk up a pathway and there's one of those hands and you've got to make the decision. Do I clear around it first and then come back to it? Or am I strong enough where I can open it up and take on the zone enemies? You know, where they are. You know, it sort of entices you to play a little... No, I wouldn't say... Well, maybe reckless. Sometimes you do something a bit reckless because there's potential there.
Just in time. Ah, there you are. Ready to revisit
Man,
the
if I'd
past.
opened that one, we would have cleared away through already.
The more you kill, the more you change my map.
Traps.
And the closer we get to finding the temple in the
I don't want to
present
open
day.
that one.
Here's the plan. Time to go.
Well, the funny, like with that, the bestiary being the most seamless one, in the zone, it's also one of the most boring ones. Like, they add 3 to 5 extra enemies that are a little bit tougher to kill, and Einar jumps in and shoots some things with you. It's like, you don't even do anything, so it's an argument to be made that, is it even a... Now the stuff afterwards, like when you can go there and fight the beasts in the arena to do stuff, that's cool, but that doesn't interact with the rest of the zone. And I kind of think I reckon that ratio would probably run true with most of them. So the more they interact with the zone, the more impact they have on smoothness type of deal. Just look at Metamorph.
Good job.
Well, Metamorph actually kind of falls off that chart. Metamorph, you had to run around the entire zone collecting all the... We didn't have to get all the stuff, but you potentially had to do extra killing and things instead of just finding it. And it didn't really interact with the zone that much. I still really liked Metamorph, though. Abyss goes one way, but Smoke goes another. Yeah, so you make a choice then. And that's what I really like about it, is that instead of it just being... If it just guaranteed the Abyss went with the Smoke, and there's no choice, it'd be like, cool, we hit it and we run with the Smoke. We make no decisions, we just do stuff. Having choice is... Well, for me, at least, is that sort of like, oh, which one do I want to follow? I would follow the Abyss because I like the Abyss a lot, and you don't see, and especially this league, because you don't see them that often. Whereas the Delirium thing we see all the time. This league.
With Xantipi's growing influence, they are certain to be even more dangerous, and...
I am no beast of burden.
Hunting the Abyss areas for the belt, yeah. Everyone wants that belt. Now I've got to find Kishara's star, which I'm going to check down here. Actually, no, I can always, if I don't find it up this way, I can always teleport and go back there and check it out. Yeah, never skip an Abyss. I do them because, like, I've only played a few characters. So I started in Synthesis League. I guess we're checking somewhere else at the start. And yeah, and I don't play a lot. I can only play maybe 2 characters. At most, and usually the second one doesn't get as much playtime. Is there a waypoint in Vale City? There is, okay. Okay. I think the waypoint's right before the door, yeah? So yeah, I even if after I've got the belt, I'll still take the abysses because I want to go down there, and because some of the bosses are a little bit unique. Like there's one that has you going through all these the doorways, like into different cave areas, like 3 or 4 times. They got pipes in Satisfactory now. That sounds pretty cool. Do they have gas pipe as well, or is it just going to be like water, oil? Yeah, I just wish they had story in it. Like, I want a reason to do the stuff. One of the things that I'm not... I know the problem is there's ways around this, but one of my biggest gripes with Satisfactory is when, after I sort of played a bit and had lots of fun and then went, I want to see how to get better. The majority of the tutorials on like Satisfactory for beginners was, the first thing they tell you is build floors. Like not multiple height floors, but the floor pieces. So build a big square of floor pieces, but build it up higher, so there's no chance of it getting any bit of ground stick through it. And I'm like, that is so freaking optimally boring, right? And I get it, right? Because if you
fireflies.
If you take the ground change of elevation out of the equation, you can build the perfect factory every time. But why have this? What's the point of them even making a planet if that's the case? You know?
Go make history.
But yeah, it was. I remember. Yeah, I died a little bit when I noticed that was pretty much, and I didn't even think of it while I was playing the game, because I built this. My first factory stuff was sort of winding around the rocks and in between sections, and I had my things close to where it was. And the other tip they had was, don't build anywhere near where you collect. Like, find a nice big open space where you can build a huge floor, and then run long tracks for stuff to get delivered. And I'm like, that's so boring. Like I was trying, like I had stuff, like little compartments of things, building things near where I was picking up ores and things, and yeah, and I was as if I was treating it like resources were a limited thing. So I was trying to have these cool little interweaving tracks in between the hills and stuff, and I was like, no, find a field, build a floor, even if the field's flat, just to make sure you're really flat, and run really long conveyor tracks to it. It's like, okay.
Hello.
But you know, that is definitely the way to optimize.
Goodbye.
And you know, it makes sense when you look up how do you get better or how do you play it a little better. That's, you know. Okay, so I think I'm doing fine with those. So let's put that there. No maps. Frags. There we go. F for fragments. What color should we make the fragments? I like that one. Don't know what. So the multi-story ones, I really like. I saw some guy, he had a nice community, and they were doing challenges where they would make a size, and some of them was like a cube, and you had to get the most optimal. Like, he'd pick a machine that was somewhere down the advancement track and say, how optimal can you get the output of this machine in terms of your system? And there was a way you'd look at it that would have that measured. And I don't think it was just the input output of that machine. Like, there was a way of looking at it from like a certain point. Yeah, and they were just coming up with who could come up with the best design in the, you know, over the course of the next week. They're doing like weekly challenges, or one of them was they had like a really skinny, narrow, tall building, and same deal. How can and some of them had different rules. Like conveyors could go on the outside of buildings, like just on the very outside, not really far on the outside, and different things like that. It was really cool. Plus, a really cool way of like having a community around it. Okay, so we're basically just killing Arakali. Nice. Spoda time. Spoders. I should know where my points are going before. Okay, I have that. Got those. I've got that. I don't have that. I think I've got that. Do I have it? Oh, we're going up into Annihilation. I have 2 points to go there. Okay. Right, let's go into the Delirium in here. This will be fun. Yeah, let's
The Mother of Shadows makes herself known.
I'm loving this strange voice dude. Like, there's going to be a story here. I can't wait to tell that. Is there actually a move speed penalty in here? It's a toy, not a game, yeah. And that's the thing, if there was, and it doesn't need to be a huge story thing, but it's almost like, you know, if they had different scenarios. Would be something, you know?
Scrolls on a wall.
I want to collect them, but see, now here's the thing, like, I've got to make a choice. I want to keep up with the fog, but I also short on wisdom, but I think I made the wrong choice because I can hand into like armor scrap. Let's keep up with the fog. no more fog. Nice. Yeah, different resources. I think, like different chapters of we need to get a thing out. You know, like we need to get we need to have 10 different this type of machine, like something fairly basic, or you go, we've got to get 3 different, we've got to go to these locations and get 3 types of, or 3 of these machines working. But you also need to have it in a way that you don't want people putting 3 of them next to each other. Or maybe you do. Maybe that's just the key. Like, you just don't care if someone does that. Or you put the locations far enough away that you'd be running really long conveyors. So maybe you want to, I don't know. Like maybe you've got to branch out or something. Yeah, the Space Needle like kind of pushes you towards that. The issue with doing things like that is what happens is players that play through it get into the routine of, okay, I build this first, then this, and they just have a set pattern. So there needs to be, if you're going to be doing things like that, because you want to have it like as a more engaging game, there needs to be some way of having restrictions on things. One of the things, like, especially since in a game where you're extracting your own resources. Did you ever play This War of Mine, Roche? Because it had a similar problem where I wouldn't call it maybe a problem. Like, it wasn't random enough where it's roguish, but you kind of built stuff in a very precise order, same as most of the construction type games. But the difference was what materials you could get. Like sometimes you just couldn't get a certain material, so your choice was to sit on your materials, which is bad. You needed to be doing other things to. Otherwise, you'd just be missing out on too much along the way. Are you going to package for something else? Yeah, it's a good game. I think you'd like it. And that, like, they had different scenarios, and that was how well, one of the other things on the biggest difference on the scenarios were the people that you had though, and they had different collection capabilities, like different strengths and weaknesses. So you still kind of built in the same direction. I can't remember exactly the order now. If I jumped in and started playing again, I'd be like, oh yeah, we've got to fix this first and do this first. And once you work out the one that works best for you, which would probably be fairly simple, you still follow that sort of same pattern, but because of the strengths and weaknesses of the people, you might have to make slight variations here and there. What's like one of the guys, for example, he can physically bring more home. So you go out collecting, and he can collect more stuff, which is really strong. Whereas he's slow, but it's not too big of a weakness. Whereas, and then there's the couple of the people gets, you know, they're more susceptible to getting sick, so you can't trade away as much medicine type of deal. So having that would be a good idea in Satisfactory, like some way in Satisfactory where, I don't know, maybe different planets put different amounts of resources required on different machines. There's a lot of levels in here. I always forget how many like zones you have to zone into before you actually get to fight Arakali. Oh, there she is. Alright. Come here, Spoda.
My bride has arrived, Exile. I hope you brought a wedding gift.
Eat him. Stupid silk. That's the best Arakali fight I've ever had, though. I think I'm just getting better at that
is the
particular
true
fight.
climax of perverted lust.
Ooh. That is a chunk of life. I like the mana shield, though. Oh, I've got a little bit of energy shield. I wonder what the difference that is. Only worth a little bit more life compared to the energy shield loss, and I prefer not to lose the energy shield since it regens.
Many an artist of
You hear that?
Uh-huh.